All right. So last week, myself, Matt Gibbons, and a few of the other regional managers, we met with a man by the name of Joe, who's with this company called AdvizorPro. AdvisorPro is a database. They curate data from all across the country, all of the different departments of insurance and states across the country. They curate this data so that we can actually market to and recruit licensed insurance agents all across the country. Now, for those of you that have been here with us for a while, and probably a decent amount of you, I see like Trey on here with us now, and a few Natasha Dempsey, I believe Dan actually here. A handful of people that I'm even seeing on this call were David Mills, of course, were previously licensed agents that we had reached out to recruit to our team. And you got a text message from us, and that's what brought you on board to our team. There's a lot of you out there. There's probably more that I could even name. In fact, I even think Jay Collins, if I'm not correct, man, Jay came from Discovery Data. Is that right? Became a sales manager with us. I'll
Yeah,
tell you this. That's right, Jay. So the majority, I'm maybe the yeah, that's correct. I would be correct in saying the majority of agents that work with us in the last, let's say, nearly 2 years, actually 2 years, they're coming on board and getting contracted. So for those of you that are in our leadership group, you'll see Holly, Samantha, and Kelsey Hearn all posting names of people that were contracted in the Theodore group, and and all of our new writers. The majority of those people at this moment and has been for the last 2 years are folks that had previously or currently already had an insurance license. We sent them a text message and they watched a video with us and come on board to our team, and that's been our main source of recruiting for the last couple of years. We do have some other poles in the water. For the longest time, we had ZipRecruiter. That's actually ZipRecruiter is how I built my business. I found Matt Gibbons. And I'm just seeing who's on the screen here, Matt and many others. Oh, David, you came from ZipRecruiter? I thought you came from Discovery Data, but okay, I'm mistaken on that then. Yeah, ZipRecruiter was a platform we used for a while. We've since like moved away from ZipRecruiter because they increased their pricing. The results weren't as good. We do have a platform replacing that, however, and I'm going to let Matt actually go over the details of that platform because we haven't really talked much about that. So point being, the majority of licensed agents or agents getting started with us today are already licensed. We've reached them in through Discovery Data. They have access to, and here's a really cool part to make a distinction between Discovery Data and Advisor Pro. Discovery Data has access to 26 states across the country that we can pull licensed data from. So 26 out of 50 states. Okay. It's kind of a limited list. Okay. The price for Discovery Data historically, it depends on how many users we're able to get in. The more users we get in up front, the lower the price is up front for each person. Nick Theodore has been very generous in fronting the cost for us, and then we basically pay him back for that. Okay. And what it's been for the last couple of years is floating right around between $2,000 to $2,400 one time annual payment, and you can have your own seat on Discovery Data, pull data for yourself. We use a CRM called Ringy to send out text messages and recruit licensed agents. Okay, that's been our recruiting process. It's ultra effective. It's a powerhouse recruiting system that we have. And it does you do have to be able to curate a good message, having to have a good video, and be compelling in presenting our opportunity to people. That's something we help everybody with. We have videos of ourselves that we could send to you. We can create a video with you, if that's something you're interested in. But so that's Discovery Data, 26 states, $2,400 a year. Advisor Pro. Okay, now this is something that's really exciting. Advisor Pro actually has a lot of technology. So let me make one distinction here. The Discovery Data, a lot of manual labor involved with Discovery Data. There's a lot of people that are manually curating the data, and that inflates the cost to $2,400 per user, or something like, I don't know, between $40,000 to $60,000 annually that Nick pays up front. Advisor Pro is a competitor that's recently come on the market. I got to give credit to Brady Driscoll. He's the one that linked up with him. I don't know how he stumbled upon this guy, but really exciting offer that they had. So rather than them having a lot of manual labor involved with curating data, they've created their own software to curate this data, and it's actually more accurate. So the data is way more accurate. So for maybe the couple of you that are using something like Discovery Data to text license agents, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of like landlines, there's business emails, things like that. AdvisorPro gets rid of all of that data, and actually because all that's just collected from the Department of Insurance. AdvisorPro takes a step further and actually gets personal emails and tries to get actually personal phone numbers as well for us, rather than just what would may be listed just at the Department of Insurance. So the data is actually much more, let's say, usable as a whole, and more accurate, more up to date. Here's a real kicker. AdvisorPro has access to 48 out of 50 states rather than 26. And then the best part of it all, pricing currently looks like this for us. Okay. Um, we got we currently have, I believe, 15 people. Gibbons, am I correct in saying we got 15 people that are already committed? I'm pretty sure we do.
It's close to that. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm okay. Well,
Like,
so here's the pricing.
you're talking about in the Theodore group. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
15 people.
not just us, the theater group.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I had mentioned, Discovery Data is $2,400 a year. AdvisorPro is if at a at 15 people being committed up front, it's going to be $966. That's I and I'm giving you that number. I might be a few dollars on either way on that. It could be 1,000, it could be 900. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the math I'm in. I've got. If we can get it up to 20 users, it's going to drop it down to $825, I believe. Basically, the more people that commit up front. Now, here's the thing: if you're at all interested in participating in this, we got a couple ways we can get you involved. Obviously, path of least resistance. You say, Nick, I want to. Nick's going to front the cost for us, and then we're paying Nick back. Okay. Um, a couple ways to do that, and we have due dates on like when this is all going to be due by. We'll get more details on that. I wanted to get the information out here to you guys on this call because I wanted to get a committed group of people. Like if you're serious about doing it, what we'll do is we'll get a call set up with Joe where we can do a training. He can give us a demo of the software, and we'll go through the process of getting you set up with a seat and everything. Be prepared to pay that cost up front. And if we get more people involved, we get up to 25, I think we get more of a discount. The more people we have, the cheaper it's going to be.
Yeah, we can
But
get it down to 600.
there we
In fact,
go.
we can get it close to 650 if we get, 30 or 35 people. So,
Yeah. So I mean, at that point, you're talking about like one like decently sized policy, like $1,500 in AP, at a starting contract. Anybody that's interested in it, let us know. And the easiest thing to do is just if you're in Matt Gibbons' team, shoot Matt Gibbons a text and say I'm in on that, and we'll start curating a list of people that do want to get involved in that. And then we'll go through the process of setting up the next steps on that. What else did I want to say?
hey, Matt,
Go ahead.
somebody asked about monthly or annually. So it is recommended to pay it up front, but there, Brady set something up on his Secure Agent ID website where you can finance it, and there's 3 different avenues where you can finance it. And I don't know if it's monthly or quarterly. Do you know much about that, Matt?
Correct. Yeah, something like Klarna where you can separate it into like 4 payments.
Okay.
Now, but here's the thing. And I'm speaking for my base shop. I'm not speaking for Matt Gibbons' base shop. That's entirely up to him. And if you can't do either Klarna or pay it up front, don't do it. I'm just gonna because what I don't want to happen is I don't want you to owe Nick Theodore money. I do not go into debt for this to owe Nick Theodore money. Either you have the money or you don't, and that's okay. I don't mean to be I'm not trying to be harsh about it, but like if you can't get something like Klarna, break it up into 4 payments and finance it that way, or pay it up front, don't do it. You need to go sell more policies and make some money. I'm just going to because here's the thing. Yeah, and additionally, and I think expectations in the past on this have been a little bit unclear. So I want to be crystal clear about this on this deal. You would still need to get a Ringy account. A Ringy costs $100 a month, and then it's like 2 to 3 cents per text message to send out text to agents. It is not a gargantuan cost to send out text messages, depending on how many you're sending out on a weekly, monthly basis. You could kind of set a budget to where you maybe invest $200-300 at the most, and you're going to get a lot of interviews from even that much invested. You probably wouldn't even have to do that much actually. But yeah, we still use Ring EJ. That's our preferred carrier. It's just the one we're familiar with. There's no other reason other than just like we know how to use a Ring. We're familiar with how to use it. We can train you on it. We just don't know any other CRMs. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Either finance it or pay it up front. If you can't do either one of those, it's just not the right time. We can get you involved later, by the way. So later in the year, we like whatever the final cost is going to be, we'll be able to add another seat, whether it's 2, 3 months down the road. So if you can't do it now, no problem. Go sell some policies 1, 2, 3 months down the road, fork the money up for it, get your account, and then let's get you recruiting. That's what I wanted to say about that, Gibbon. So I think you wanted to actually mention a couple things about LinkedIn.
Yeah, and there's also, I know John Schwartz uses a company called Go High Level to send out text messages as well. And so it's a little bit more limiting than Ringy. You can't send as many out, but it's a lot easier to get set up because you don't need an LLC to get going. So there's kind of a hack for you guys on that. With Ringy, it's a little more complicated to get started. I don't want to deter you from getting this, but it's just a couple more steps that you have to go through. And but I mean, isn't this pretty cool, guys? I mean, like we are we've been working with Discovery Data for the past, I want to say we've had it for like since 2021, 2022. So like 3 or 4 years. And Matt and I have been consistently just forking out $2,000 to $3,000. And even I've paid for it a couple of my agents in the past and just, like I've probably invested 10 or 15,000 into the Discovery Data. And now we have this other alternative option, which is better. He sent Brady over, I think, 400 names or so, and Brady just did a demo and texted it all of them, and the delivery rate was a lot higher than what we have on from the other data that we had. So it's a small sample size, but they have more agents. It's more accurate. You can set up a system, guys, where new agents that just get filtered in, that just passed their test, you can get an email on that, like, stuff that Discovery Data didn't even have access to. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of go over some new numbers, and I just did this pretty quickly, but new agents last year that we had between just Weiner and myself, we had over 170 new agents get started, right? And that's probably, I want to say that's probably the best hierarchy in all of Equus, right? I mean, obviously we're within the theater group, but that's the best hierarchy. And that's because we do both. We recruit licensed agents and we recruit unlicensed agents. I'm not exactly sure the percentage of how many of those are licensed and how many were unlicensed, but I know more of them were licensed, right? It's a little bit more to get an unlicensed agent going. And then this year, between Matt and I, we have 30. Okay. And obviously that number is going to continue to climb. We've already had, I think we have 4 this week in the hierarchy. Okay. The reason I bring that up is Matt and I we started out with LinkedIn. What has it been, Matt? 6 weeks, 5 weeks? I think we've made 2 payments, and we have access to where we can set up unlimited ads. And I just kind of thought about this over the weekend while I was in Atlanta. I want to get more of you guys recruiting if you want to, because sometimes you feel like you're stuck. You're like, well, which route do I go? You guys do ZipRecruiter, you guys do this, and it can feel overwhelming when you want to start recruiting. It's like, well, I could put a list together of 10 people and send it to my manager and have them reach out, but do I want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. So we have LinkedIn, and some of the costs that are some of the costs that I'm going to get ready to tell you guys actually include, and I don't know what Matt wants to do here, but for my base shop, all of this includes actually posting the ad, tracking on a spreadsheet and making sure that when somebody applies to LinkedIn, it goes directly to you. Like we're going to put your email address in the ad. We're able to do that now with LinkedIn, where we weren't able to do that with ZipRecruiter. Okay. So the pricing, if you guys are taking notes, so for LinkedIn to get 5 ads for the month is only $50. And that's going to include my admin posting the ads. You have to take the email and respond with either your video or my video, and then follow up and set up the interview, right? $75 will get you 10 ads. And this is monthly, $75 a month. And then $100 will get you 20 ads. So 20 ads for $100, 10 ads for 75, 5 ads for 50. So if you just want to start with 5 ads and see how it goes and then build up, or if you want to say, Matt, I want 20 ads, that's $100 a month. And so I'm not looking to make any money off this, guys, because I cut a check to Nick for LinkedIn. Um, I'm looking to help you guys start getting the process of paying for recruiting. Because what I've noticed when I've sent people interviews and I'm like, hey, I got some interviews for you. They interview them, they might get 1 or 2 people started and then nothing else happens. Like I just mentioned, we've had over 200 new agents in the past 15 months, guys. That equals around 13.3 new agents a month. And in order for us to continue to have new agents, we need other people building their business as well. It just can't be, and I know some of you on here are recruiting, but it's most of you guys are recruiting at like a less than part-time, like super part-time, like maybe a couple hours a week. And that's okay if that's all you want to do. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just letting you know, like, in order for you to really grow and become a sales manager and become a regional or grow and start making 20,000 a month in override income like Matt and I have been able to do for a while, it's going to take you doing either one or the other or both. And what does the book say, Matt? The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind? It says
Do both.
do both. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as LinkedIn, and they both work if you work. So turn it back to you, Matt.
To
Oh,
be
oh,
pres-
one other thing I will say, sorry to interrupt. I've already had 15 people apply on LinkedIn just this morning. I've gotten 15, and my admin, and she is like steady working. I have probably about 100 ads, give or take, 150 that are active right now. And so I get about 100, sometimes 200 applicants a day. And so I keep her really busy with responding to those. So if you're getting 5 or 10 or 20, it's not obviously going to be the volume that I have, but can you handle 5 or 10 or 15 emails a day and set up a couple interviews? I'm sure you can. I know you can. So sorry to interrupt, Matt.
that's all good. Um, no, to be precise on that quote, it's from Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's like rich people don't think either or; they think both and.
There it is.
Um, I would just like to say for anybody, hey, look, if you're depending on your circumstances, I mean, we can discuss this. I mean, like I'm willing to help people. I'm willing to help people feed them interviews if they'll commit to a certain level of not activity, results on a week to week basis. Like, let's say if you have at least 5 applications per week, we can discuss that. And I'll feed you interviews. In fact, because I pulled my back on Tuesday, yeah, no, what was it? Monday. It was Monday because I pulled my back on Monday. I had to reschedule a lot of my interviews. In fact, Amy, I know you weren't expecting this, but if would you be able to unmute for a second? Can I ask you something real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Someone was asking about the effectiveness of LinkedIn. I actually had to throw you a few of my interviews because I couldn't do anything. So, so what were the quality of those people you were talking to?
They were pretty high level, actually, even though they weren't licensed yet. They have the mindset of, working and the concept of actually having to do work for what we do. So it, you know, kind of circumvents that. You have to talk them into working.
I'm going to stop the recording here real quick because I can't share my screen. But because I got one. I'm going to share. You